word to say.
Hello, I am Jack and this is my cameraman Mason, and today we're going to be going to a very distant wilderness and give you tips on how to survive there. We will be biking there. It'll be many miles from civilization. We'll see you there. We have arrived at the wilderness known as the Otsego City Park. Very dangerous area. Many very dangerous obstacles for children to be learning how to survive on. But we are going to the most dangerous area, the park woods. Setting up camp here tonight. This has lots of fertile ground, lots of nice, nutritious greens to be eating here. Also many coconuts and bark to start a fire. We need lots of bark. I have knowledge that we need bark because many years ago I took a trip just like this, and my Mexican friend Pablo, he froze to death because we did not make a fire. So I have knowledge that we need a fire when it goes dark, otherwise it's going to be cold. So make sure you get lots of bark from a tree. It needs to be dry though, otherwise it's not going to make a fire well, because the water, it's going to be moist and you need the molecules to be rubbing at a very high friction to make a fire. So it cannot be wet bark, otherwise, well, it's not going to make a fire. So far we have showed you what knowledge is, and next we are going to be showing you what nature is, because obviously in the wilderness you're going to be dealing a lot with surviving nature. And basically what nature is anything you can see, observe, touch. Okay, so we have found an ant's nest, an ant's hill made of dirt, and basically we are going to observe this natural home of phenomenon that the ants have made. See, this is the anthill. Observe it. Many ants come together to make a colony, and they take dirt and they make it into a hill with many chambers, you see, and they live there. And basically we can eat ants if we need food source. They can be our food source, but we can also observe them in nature as they make the home. It's quite beautiful, but we do not care. We do not care at all, because we do not care about ants. We need food, so we are going to eat this. See this little ant right here? See the ant in my hand? Very nutritious, very nutritious. I think I'm going to be sick, but I did not have knowledge that ants are poisonous, so I'm just going to spit that out, and now I know. So you're welcome. Step 2, you do not eat ants in the wilderness unless you have knowledge that they will actually be nutritious and not kill you. So next step, we're going to be learning about what is science. A question I've been asked is, what is science? Well, science is basically gaining knowledge about anything in nature. So basically, something I could do to gain knowledge is doing an experiment about what type of ants make their homes the best or quickest. And I could take a chart, and I could take a bunch of different types of ants, put them in a bunch of sand or dirt or whatever I put them in, and see how many days it takes each type of ant to make their home. And then I could jot that all down, and then I would now have knowledge about that. Say the bull ant makes his home the quickest of all the ants that I tested. Well, we are going to be going over what the scientific method is. And right now we are moving locations because my cameraman has been a bit of a baby about the conditions in these woods. They are very hard conditions to survive. So I completely have sympathy for my cameraman. I kind of think he's a baby, but that's okay. I mean, he's only 10. I have a 10-year-old cameraman. Don't ask me that. Anyway, the steps of the scientific method are: 1, ask yourself a question. So, maybe, I don't know, there's a question you've been trying to figure out, and right now, you don't know the answer to it. Like, something maybe, why the days get shorter and the nights get longer, and you don't know that. Well, that's the question maybe you want to ask yourself. I don't know. Next, do background research. So research what you're trying to figure out. Next, construct a hypothesis. And hypotheses have a formula. And the formula goes XYZ. And basically, what you do is The whole formula goes, if this, then this, when. So basically you have to put that down in that formula and find the answer to your hypothesis. Next, test your hypothesis by doing an experiment. So experiment with your hypothesis, which is basically what you think will happen. Your hypothesis is what you think will happen, and it does not need to be right or wrong, as long as you are gaining knowledge about your question. So after that, analyze your data and draw a conclusion based on your hypothesis. And the final step is communicate your results.